So I reiterate here, the bill is dead.
The story of this great city is about the years before this night. We are free!
Hey everyone, this is Ho Ho Hong Kong with me, your host of the most, Vivek Mahbubani, and my other co-host of the most,
I was putting my mic up to do like a Bruce Buffer thing, but then you bailed halfway.
I know. I
Yeah.
went, hold on. I was like, I don't know, that's not really right. This is
Yeah.
not that kind of a podcast.
It's time. I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm Mohammed Magdi. We have a guest, you can probably tell from the title, who we'll get to in a couple of minutes.
That's right.
Vivek.
Mohammed, let me tell you something. I'm
Yes.
a person who gives everyone a chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the type of guy that I'm like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
If you tell me, hey, man, I want to do comedy, I'm going to go up there and you do like a shitty show that's offensive to everyone. I'm like, you know what? Maybe you don't know the rules. I get it. I'll give you another chance.
I don't like where
to
this is
talk.
going.
All right. So same with people, same
Yeah.
with food, same with everything. Now, anyone who's an avid listener to the podcast knows that I'm a big chocolate chip cookie guy.
Oh,
All right.
yeah, okay.
And a few episodes before, we were talking about how, like, oh, well, bakehouse is the shit. It's
Yeah.
the best ever, right? And I've been getting messages of, like, buddy, you don't know what you're talking about.
I got the same. I
Right?
got like probably the same people going like, why do you get like the big house guy
Yeah.
and you didn't get from the guy from blah blah blah? Like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's the best one.
Exactly,
like,
right?
Objectively.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the most common suggestion I got was the baker and the bottleman, man. That's
Yeah.
the cookie of choice. And I was like, all right, man. I'll give it a chance. It was on my to-do list for many, many weeks. Finally, I passed.
You're that serious about cookies that you
dude.
actually put it in a to-do list.
Yeah,
to go try it.
Exactly, because I
Yeah.
was like, if these people have the guts to message me after I'm like all praises for Bakehouse, and they're like, buddy, you don't know shit. I'm like, all right, man, put your money where their mouth is. I put it on my to-do list. It's been on my list. It's the place is in Wan Chai, but I've not had a chance to go there during the daytime. They always close or whatever. And I passed by Landmark today. In Landmark, they have a stall over there, and I saw that name. I'm like, this is it. This is the moment I'm waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, so I showed up, and on top of that...
Cookie off.
Yeah, it was a cookie off, right?
Yeah.
And I go there, and of course, they have this little sign, at 12 p.m., anyone who buys pastries will get a free coffee. It's 11:53 in the morning, right? And I'm like, God damn it. And I'm standing around, I'm like, maybe I could just try going up and be like, hey, man, it's almost 12, round it up and stuff. Super nice guy's like, yeah, sure, get a pastry. I'm like, is it cookie?
Did you get a white guy?
No, I got a Chinese guy.
Because the Wan Chai store has white people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I think is probably part of like why Hong Kongers might be like under false impressions, like, oh, white, like guy with a French accent, he must be like the best. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, they'll know how to mix flour together better, right? Exactly. Okay, so I go get the cookie and stuff. It's huge. It's $55. It's the fair size. It's not bullshit Vizio and rubbish shit.
Way to make friends with your neighbors, buddy.
Exactly. Yeah, that's I have one neighbor I like, the other one I don't care about.
Yeah.
So I get the cookie. I come back home. I'm like, all right, man, this is it. I even respectfully came back home, had my lunch, did my work, everything. Came back at tea time, had the cookie. I said, I want to be in the right state of mind and everything. I took a bite. I'm like, okay, people, Bakehouse, you are officially my winner of winners.
Right.
You have hands down. I'm like, I'm sorry, everyone. I've given it a shot, but at this point, Bakehouse, you have my full endorsement of their triple chocolate chip cookie, and I absolutely love it. So that's it, everyone. I'm not going to take any more suggestions.
Okay, so was it Baker and Bottleman? Was it second after Big House?
I would say yes.
Okay, so at least there's
Yes, for the price value and everything, second, but it's not a close second. It's not like
it's not a close second.
Yeah, it's not a close
It's just second because everyone else is that bad.
Yeah, everyone else is fourth. There's no third.
Yeah.
You get it? So
or third, and there's no fourth because fourth like all died. Like
exactly.
Number 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they went straight to 6 just because I don't. 5 is like
Oh God.
So there you go.
Right.
I've tried it, everyone. I was very fair. I was honest about it, and there you go. If you need a cookie desperately, I can fully recommend Bakehouse.
To be honest, also Bakehouse does not need any more PR. It's just like the blue bags that everyone is carrying after their fucking pure gym yoga session.
For fuck's sake, our guest today comes in with a gift.
And our guest who's not from here,
not from here, comes to people who are from here, been like, hey, try this.
Yeah.
I'm like, buddy.
And in his defense, I was with him a couple of nights ago and I did recommend it. He said his partner likes sweet stuff. He doesn't eat sweet stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's a place to go.
Yeah.
And that's a very nice gesture that he remembered that and he brought it to us.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So speaking of guests, when was the last time we had a comedian on the podcast?
I think every week, Mo, because we are comedians. I hope
a guest comedian.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. I'm trying to remember. I really cannot recall.
Yeah, exactly. I would say like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, people with legit jobs have been on. This is shocking. We've actually had good guests.
Yeah, we had, and we have one of the best talents in Asia for sure, and one of my favorite comics in the Asian scene, Jinx Yeo. How are you doing, man?
Good, thanks. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, pleasure, man. It's so good to have you here in Hong Kong. It's been so I cannot even remember the last time I saw you live or just in person as well. It's been so many years.
Yeah, it's been a while,
right?
Especially since COVID and all that.
That as well, right? Now,
so.
If anybody doesn't know Jinx, if you just go search online JINX and just look for like add comedy behind it, that's the guy.
Yeah.
There's the one and only Jinx Yeo, especially from Singapore. You'll definitely have seen his videos. You may not specifically remember it, that's the guy. But when you watch the video, you're like, oh, that's the guy.
I think he has a very distinctive features too.
Yeah.
So people would remember seeing his face, right?
Yeah. And which feature is that, Mohammed?
The lips.
Exactly. Yeah. So Jinx, tell us a bit about yourself. I do know I've been doing comedy long enough that I think you were also in the beginning time when I started as well.
Yeah.
So we were in that same pool of new comics trying to figure out the whole Asian scene. Mm-hmm. Tell everyone, I know you're from Singapore and everything, but that little journey, could you give us a quick update on what your whole journey of comedy has been?
Yeah. I mean, I started comedy probably 12 years ago, and at that time the comedy scene in Singapore was just starting out. There was open mic scene was just starting out, and in hindsight now I've traveled to lots of places. I think Singapore and Asia in general is quite a good place to start comedy because you get opportunities. There aren't that many. It isn't an oversaturated market.
Yeah.
So if you're a new comic and you're willing to work at it, you can get a lot decent stage time and a lot of opportunities to perform and all that. I've seen some countries in the UK where new comics is so hard for them to get stage time. Sometimes they have to pay to get on open mics because there's just so many people fighting for stage time, and that's the only way. I'm quite grateful I started in Asia. And we had you. I think I remember watching you. I was still very new then. You came to headline Comedy Masala in Singapore, and remember,
it's crazy.
Has Masala been running for that long?
That long,
How many
man?
years?
Yeah. Oh, I would say easily 14 years now.
What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I remember.
So Omar was 60 back then.
Yeah, he's 200 now. I don't know, he's in dog years or something.
Have you seen his photos?
I try not to. Because I remember, I think around 12 years ago was when we did, I believe, the 1 year anniversary or something for Comedy Masala. So 13 years ago.
Oof.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And Comedy Masala Singapore, that was my first time to do an overseas gig of stand-up comedy. Literally being flown down to do comedy. And I was
fun.
oh my God.
Was it also at Heroes? Same place?
No.
No. Back then it was a place called Home Club.
Yes, Home Club. They would have a banner outside, and you would be on a quite high stage as well, and there would be a break in the middle, stuff like that. I remember that. Yeah, Home Club was quite fun as well.
I mean, that's about Heroes is was it higher? Because the stage at Heroes is quite high.
Oh, Home Club was higher, right?
Home Club was quite a high stage.
Yeah, it's quite a high stage.
Wow.
And imagine me. So I remember going to Singapore first time ever for comedy reasons, and I'm like, okay, man, I hope they find something funny, because again, you get that stereotype of Singaporeans very serious, they don't know what humor is, stuff like that. And I go there, and let me tell you, what I thought was C grade comedy became A+ over there. People were just eating it up. I'm like, okay, this is not what I was expecting. I thought you guys would be very dead serious. They were just loving everything. I think partly because also they're being so multicultural, especially compared to Hong Kong, right? Do you find the comedy diversity in Singapore is one of the most mixed kind of audiences, mixed performance types, or do you find anywhere else in the world having this level of diversity from performers and audience point of view?
Yeah, I think Singapore is definitely one of the places the most. You always get the audience. You get a good mix of different nationalities, just because it's a bit of an international hub. You get a good mix of course, locals will be. Some gigs tend to be heavy on locals just because it's in Singapore, right?
Yeah, of course.
But you always get a good mix. You always get some international people and performers as well. You get very good, very diverse. In the places in UK, Australia, they always some people complain that your bill isn't diverse enough. You don't have enough
mixture of people.
Too many straight
types.
white guys on the lineup. Right? Never a problem in Singapore. It's always like we don't even have to try to make it diverse. It's always just diverse.
It has to happen, right? That's very true. I think that's just in our minds now over there.
Do you feel like I worked there a few times, and every time it was with Masala, and I don't think Omar has ever briefed me on what is not okay, what is illegal to say in Singapore on stage. And I never bothered to ask, what is actually illegal to say in Singapore on stage?
I don't think anyone has gotten in trouble with the Singapore government, any comedian. I don't think
for saying something specific.
I know people have gotten in trouble with the Malaysian government. Malaysia.
No, but what is by law? What is illegal to say on a public forum on the stage?
I imagine if you defame what this is not in the comedy sense, but the people who have gotten trouble in Singapore for tends to be if they say something about politician and the politician sues them for defamation.
One of those. So that's typical. That's not unique to Singapore then. Yeah, that could be anywhere.
But then you can defame, you can talk shit about a celebrity and you will not get in trouble. No?
It depends. See, I can't remember a celebrity in Singapore suing someone for defamation.
Yeah.
There have been many cases of politicians in Singapore suing people for defamation. So it seems like I don't know the law obviously, but but it just seems that the if there is a line, it's don't
mess with the politicians.
Don't talk shit about politicians. But if you can't back it up,
is it the politicians themselves? You can criticize the government policies, right? You can or you cannot.
I think you should be able to, although there is recently Singapore, I think they passed a law against foreign interference.
Yeah.
So if you're not from Singapore and you comment on Singapore's policy, maybe I'm not a lawyer, I don't know the law. But I think that's maybe where there is a line there. If you're not from Singapore and you comment on the Singapore's policies.
So it's fairly free over there. I mean, whenever I've been there, I've never been briefed hey, don't touch this. When I go to Thailand, they're I don't talk about the queen. Don't talk about king and stuff like that. You get those briefings of don't do this. I remember going to Malaysia, be smart. Don't unnecessarily talk about, let's say, Islam and everything. It's buddy, just be smart about it, right?
Yeah.
So I think, Singapore, I was never told, and at no point did I kind of feel ooh, I better not go there. This audience will not like it. That's what I found. Singapore audience were willing to laugh at pretty much anything, to the point that you would even step a little bit on, this is not inclusive at all.
You
get it. This guy is saying stuff that I kind of feel is really not right at this time of our lives, but people are that's so true. They do that. So I think that's the double-edged sword, right? In a way, you can do all this stuff, but in a way, you're also kind of encouraging the really old backward way of thinking, Indian people are like that. You have that, but again, they're but they really are. So it's kind of that. It's weird because I remember when I go there, they will completely relate to multicultural topics because they get it firsthand. Whereas when I was in the UK, I don't know if you noticed when you were in the UK, the audience there, they only know of, let's say, Asian culture based on what they have been told or seen on TV, and they try to be as respectful as possible, partly maybe because they're guilty or whatever, but they're oh, that's not right. But when you go to Singapore, they're that's okay, that's what they do. That's actually what they do, right? And I think that brings me back of people like Chris Rock and everything back in the 90s joking about black people, white people, and people that's what they do. I mean,
that's why it was so relatable at the time. People, even if it sounded racist, it's actually he's still it's rooted in truth. Facts.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, so the evolution though, because Jinx, I've seen your growth from, let's say, the Singaporean comedian to being I believe there was a time they even called it Sons of Singapore and stuff like that. You were the representative of Singapore comedy and traveling around the world. They were oh yeah, that Singapore guy. Because people that shared your videos to me, it's oh, check this guy's funny. I'm I know, I've seen that actual set, in person, and I would be yeah, you have to check this guy out. It's fantastic. And you've seen a lot of comedy from Asia all the way to the Western side and everything. What were the things that you noticed the most comparatively, maybe the first time you went, let's say, to Europe or UK or whatever, and did you kind of go whoa, hold on, wait, what? This is how it's like? Because I remember when I was in Edinburgh, I was a bit surprised with the lack of camaraderie between comedians. They'll come do the set and just leave. Whereas I'm so used to the idea of everybody show up, watch hanging out, they'll watch each other's sets and stuff. And here they're just okay, I saw your set. Well, I did myself. What do you want me to do? I'll have a drink with you at best, but I don't want to be here anymore. Did you get any of those kind of shocks while you're traveling?
I noticed that about UK too, and I think in the UK it's probably because a lot of let's say the professional comedians the pay for their gigs isn't like super high.
Yeah, true.
So,
So much supply, right?
Right.
Hence,
So,
yeah.
so a lot of them, they have to do like 2 or 3 gigs a night. Let's say on the weekend, they have to
Yeah.
do 2 or 3 gigs a night to try to make as much money as they can. So they have this. I guess it's become a bit of their culture where they will go on early on a lineup, and then they have to travel, and the traveling distances can be quite long as well. So they can't afford to stay to watch, and they'll go there, do their set, and move on to the next gig and so on.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's that's why they have that culture there. But yeah, that's definitely something I noticed. They don't tend to stay to watch other people's sets.
Yeah.
You had when did you start? Because you kind of blew up in the UK at some point. So you're a Singaporean comedian. Like, how did that UK whole thing happen? Because you had the one video that went viral, Asian nerd roasts English people or something.
right, yeah.
Was
Yeah.
that in the UK, right?
No, that was at the Melbourne Comedy Festival. I never really blew up in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, you're quite big.
I mean,
Yeah,
that video went.
The video went viral.
The video went viral, but
Sure.
I don't know where it was that. I think it went viral quite a bit in India. I think that's where because
Yeah, like what I'm just interested in the progress or like
Yeah, once it went viral,
you
what
shot that
happened?
video in the Melbourne Festival,
Melbourne
one of
Festival, right.
the gala or whatever,
Right,
right?
yeah.
And then what year was that?
I shot it in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was 2017 where the video was recorded. It was put up online, and somehow
back at the time there was no Instagram Reels.
no Instagram reels or
Yeah.
anything. Yeah. So somehow it was online and was dormant for like maybe like a 1 year plus. And
Yeah.
That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell happened? Yeah.
So I think when it first happened, I didn't know, but I've since found out that one of the Indian politicians,
They use you as a reference. They're like, these Caucasians or these Brits need to be put down.
he
It's like,
basically he used my joke in one of his like
Speeches?
speeches or something like that.
wait, you can sue him for defamation, man. Right there, bam.
Or
Yeah.
like IP, like
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
the video that I saw, he did credit me and and say,
Nice.
oh, Jinx Yeo.
This comedian, I saw this and he actually said this. Fair enough.
But he basically, I think his name was Shashi Tharoor or something
Okay,
like
okay.
that. And he was one of the, I think he's anti-colonial.
Oh, yeah, guy. So you
obviously,
yeah.
if he used that
Yeah.
video,
Yeah.
he's definitely anti.
Unless he's kind of like reverse psychology. That's wrong. We should embrace them. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I think because of that, it started going. I don't know if it was that, but because I only found out that he told my joke like many years later.
Yeah.
So that's when I saw the video.
Ah.
So and maybe that's I don't know how it went viral, but I think maybe that was it.
Yeah.
And what was its impact on you when it started gaining a lot of? Because it had like how many million views like when it really blew up.
Yeah, and I'm not super active on social media, so for the first few weeks when it blew up,
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
I was just like getting lots of notifications, but I'm not that super active on social media. Just getting notifications. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, you're like,
and then somebody
sure.
told me, oh yeah, your video's oh it is.
I know the feeling, man. Yeah, you kind of go like, what the hell is all these mute? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, it's crazy to think like that's something that can stay dormant for over a year and then suddenly get picked up so randomly and then like changes your life pretty much.
Dude, this is like such an inspirational speaker kind of story.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
like, that power you have within you,
Yeah.
it could be dormant for a whole year, but when you unleash it, it will just shock the world. Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's how it started. I'm guessing. So first of all, I just want to invite any politician, especially those in Hong Kong. John, I'm looking at you. Like,
You're going for the top dog.
Trickle down, man.
Yeah.
When he doesn't want it, the next one will want it.
Right.
Like by all means, if you feel one day, hey, you know what, I want to make a joke about, how I have body hair, or I want to make a joke about how I'm balding, stuff like that. By all
Maybe
means,
you want to make a joke about like do you want Hong Kongers to be together and like look out for each other?
Yeah.
And they can use your elevator joke as like a way of like
Exactly.
not to do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, you see how
As the chief executive, I will never press door close on my people.
Yeah.
I will only open more doors for you. Unlike
There you
this
go.
guy. Here's a 20-second clip about happiness in Hong Kong.
he's like, you see how this happens in Hong Kong? This should not make you happy.
Exactly, yeah. This is not the happy Hong Kong campaign.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Actually, they should use your video in the campaign.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, why? It's right there. By all means, please take it.
Yeah.
It's fine. I've had my run with that. But okay, yeah. So that happened. And did you start getting messages, let's say, from, I'm sure a lot of different event organizers / groups / just people like, oh man, I want to book you. I want to get you. Can we have you? Like, what were the most bizarre invitations or requests you got after that video went viral? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember one that I remember quite distinctly because somebody messaged me and said, "Hey, the Prime Minister of I'm booking someone to perform for the Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea."
Oh, damn.
And when I received that message, like I thought this looks like a scam.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually in the audience is the Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea, also a Nigerian prince.
Yeah,
Would you like to
exactly.
attend?
Yeah, exactly. However, you have to pay for your own ticket
Yeah.
and, book your own room. Yeah. All right, okay.
It looked pretty bizarre, but I just like since it's an inquiry for a gig,
Yeah.
I thought that it could be real. I'll reply and then
Yeah,
they say,
yeah, give a
oh
quote,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, and they give more details and then okay, it's so far it seems to check out, so I gave them okay, this is my fee,
Yeah.
and I need a deposit, obviously.
Obviously, yeah, you're not flying all the way there.
Yeah, right. And,
Wait,
and
was it in Papua New Guinea?
it was in Papua
What?
New Guinea. Yeah.
I thought it's like in
Damn.
Singapore and he's in town.
Or maybe it's a restaurant called Papua New Guinea. yeah. Unlike Clark Key, this new hip place,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Papua New Guinea.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Okay, so you asked for a deposit.
yeah.
I asked for a deposit. They paid the deposit and then they booked me the flight and everything.
What?
Yeah.
You actually did the gig?
Yeah, I did the gig. I went to do the
Oh,
gig. It was
damn.
real-
Where the fuck is Papua New Guinea?
somewhere in the ocean around Australia. Or
Oh yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
That
Okay.
area. Like
All right, so you
Australasia.
basically get on the plane. At what point did your brain go, dude? I cannot believe this is happening. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
I actually thought the end of this story is like you asked for a deposit and then they like didn't reply.
yeah, and they give you in Bitcoin or something.
Yeah.
They're like, I've got your passwords.
Okay, yeah, keep going.
Okay, so you get to Papua New Guinea.
Yeah.
You land. You pick up your. How many days were you there for?
I was there like a few days. I think maybe 3. I only had to perform one day, but I stayed a few extra
Obviously,
days.
you're gonna go all the way there, might
I
as
think
well,
3 to 5 days, somewhere in the range.
Okay.
Yeah. So after performing, the hosts they were very nice. They took us out and.
Were there
to
other
see-
comics?
to see no, it was just me. Just me as a comic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the host they took us out to see Papua New Guinea, all
Yeah,
that,
just see the town, see
see
the
the
place
town.
and everything.
So I was there like maybe I think 4 or 5 days. Yeah.
Wow, that's
yeah.
crazy.
So what was the event? Like, was it like a private event for the Prime Minister or is it like a public thing?
Well, it was called the Prime Minister's Ball.
Oh,
so it was
right.
actually
one of those.
it was like actually the Prime Minister's name is in the name of the event.
Yeah,
Right.
The Prime Minister is in the.
Wow, dude, that's
So-
like on the same level of people like Don Rickles and stuff who perform, like, say, for the president of the United States.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the
Or
Prime
Russell
Minister would-
Peters going to like Saudi Arabia to perform for like the
king or whatever,
Crown
yeah.
Prince or whatever.
Yeah.
Right,
Wow,
right.
dude. Okay,
That's
man,
wild.
that's wild.
But of course, you hope after performing for that guy, he doesn't do anything bad, So
yeah.
imagine the guy like in Germany, he once performed for Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, you're like, ah,
And
shit.
then I'm like, I'm going to put that on my credits, and then
Yeah.
suddenly, oh no, I can't mention him.
yeah.
You're like, I only did his birthday. I don't know what he did for the rest of his time.
Exactly. I did not inspire that behavior.
Yeah.
That wasn't any one of my bits, man.
Is he still the Prime Minister?
No, not anymore. But
Did he get
Ah.
shot?
No.
I didn't look into it. I just don't think.
I mean, the good thing is that they didn't pull an Abraham Lincoln. Like,
Right.
while Jinx is on stage, bam!
Yeah.
yeah. So, I'm guessing you have photos, everything of that gig.
Yeah, I have
Yeah, because I don't believe you still.
Yeah. Part of me is kind of like, yeah. And I was in, Uzbekistan performing for, anyway. Yeah,
Borat.
I have
yeah.
a few photos, but I'm not a big photo guy.
Yeah,
either.
I'm not saying, like,
yeah.
because the way I see it is like, there's gonna be a day like 10 years later when you look back, like, dude, I actually, oh my god, that actually happened,
Yeah.
And I noticed that with me nowadays, that when I look back at, let's say, 10-year-old photos, I'm like, oh my god, I remember doing that gig. Oh my god, I survived that one. That was a weird experience as well. So you went there, did the gig. How long was the gig for?
I think 30 minutes.
Okay, yeah,
30
standard stuff. Yeah, okay. So you did 30 minutes. The prime minister's happy, laughing.
Yeah.
Did you have to do any custom stuff, or like they were like, oh, pick on this guy? Did you get any of that, or they were just like, come do your thing?
No, I just and I think like I didn't want to pick on people in the crowd either because I think they all at the Prime Minister's ball they're probably all pretty important people.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to rub anyone off the wrong way, so I didn't.
Yeah.
Like I just stuck to my set, just deliver my set. And
Yeah.
then, yeah.
Oddly enough, man, I would have thought the one place Papua New Guinea, the one comic they'd want to hire would be Papa CJ. But I guess they were like, yeah, we want someone funny, so we go with that.
There you
yeah.
go.
Okay.
You guys did the Comedy Zone Asia together or no?
It was the year later, right? No, you were not my year.
I wasn't in your
yeah,
year.
you were like a year later. I think we were 2015. You were 2 years later, 2017. Then there we go. Yeah.
You have done it, Jinx. You have done it once.
I've done it once.
And who was with you on the lineup?
Douglas Lim, Rizal Van Gezel.
Ah, wow.
Niti Palma.
Yeah, oh, man.
And Sumit Anand. I think.
Dude, all killers, man.
Yeah.
Like Comedy Zone Asia is basically Melbourne's comedy festival where they go around Asia and pick like what they feel is the best of the best to represent Asian
Yeah.
comedy. And pretty much every year they have picked nothing but like the elites of Asia comedy at that time.
Right.
And pretty much every name, like I said, Jinx, Rizal, all these names are huge now. Everyone's like they're doing their thing, they're traveling, they've all matured to that level. So yeah, that's definitely, again, anyone in Melbourne, you should check out Comedy Zone Asia. That's a curated list of comedians from Asia, not Asian comedians, because God forbid political correctness is wrong over there.
Right.
Yeah, comedians from Asia who happen to be Asian, all right?
Right,
so you have
exactly.
that, yeah, but they're from Asia. God forbid we put an image in your head.
Actually, so Egypt is about 1/5 Asian. Sinai Peninsula is actually in Asia, so I
Yeah.
should apply.
You can.
Yeah, I can be like,
From Shanghai,
I
yeah.
qualify, right?
Technically, yeah, exactly. You can
No,
show
because
them.
I remember when they were talking to people or whatever, they said like anyone who's not Asian
Yeah.
cannot apply at all, even if you're based in Shanghai or Hong Kong or whatever.
okay,
That's
okay,
why
okay.
I'm like, can I just get in on a technicality of like Egypt is actually kind of Asian?
I think what you should do, you should kind of
because otherwise I can just call them out on being racist.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, why
exactly,
did you
yeah.
decide
Yeah,
that
who
that
dis-
part of Egypt
Exactly.
is not?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what about this Asian person in Australia who calls it Australian? Is
Yeah,
that
there you
right?
go,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know. I mean, you honestly, it's worth applying. Just contact them, say, hey, just let you know.
I remember what was it, Gideon or
Gideon,
someone? Okay.
Gideon James, he does that.
Yeah.
that. So so Melbourne happened. That was back before the viral thing and all that stuff. And then Melbourne, and then the video went viral. You did the Papua New Guinea. You did like I'm sure you would, and of course you went to UK, did shows there and stuff like that. What was the goal at the time for your comedy career? I mean, the video went viral, so you're like, okay, this is the opportunity. This is the iron is hot now. What was the goal at the moment when that what happened?
So at that time, I had plans. I thought I thought maybe go to. I was thinking of moving to the UK to like
Develop it.
develop there because they have a lot of like really top-notch comedians, and I
Yeah.
think like I'll be able to learn from them. And
But why UK not, let's say, US or anywhere else? Or Australia?
Yeah, I mean UK is. I think US I find a very crazy country.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. That's very true.
And-
Yeah.
and
I thought you like conspiracies and stuff.
I do, but
I remember we had you might not remember this. We had a very brief conversation in Comedy Masala. You were opening one year, I was there.
Yeah.
And then I was like standing outside and we were just making small talk.
Right.
And somehow it's still remember in my head, we somehow got into conspiracies and you told me you're like into them a bit.
Yeah, I am a bit into conspiracy theories, but
Yeah.
but even the US is too crazy. I mean, it's just so they're so polarized, you know, so divided.
imagine,
like,
yeah.
It's like it's almost like there's like most countries are a bit, you know, politics is never fully rational.
Yeah.
But at least there's still some middle ground and all that. Where the US is so polarized, it's almost there's no middle ground.
So
you know?
even for someone who likes conspiracy, that's too crazy for you.
Yeah, I mean, conspiracy I think is a different thing.
Right.
Like just the way that you can't talk to someone who like doesn't agree with you.
Yeah.
That's a very
Yeah.
That is very like polarized, as you said.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like if
You-
you're not my team, you're the enemy, basically.
yeah. I think you have to be able to talk to people who like disagree with you. You know.
Yeah.
And even if you don't have to find doesn't mean you don't have to find agreement or anything.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to like at least like relate to them as a person. Right?
Yeah.
But is the UK not as polarized? Like there is like Brexit, not Brexit, and like people also are like kind of like divided, like two campaigns, or no? I have no like I know a little bit about American politics just from like pop culture.
Yeah.
I know nothing about UK politics.
I know nothing about UK politics.
Okay,
I don't know
but
much
you feel
about
like
UK.
the people are less polarized there.
I mean, I feel like they're not that crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so it's almost like yes.
I mean, it's funny because actually, speaking on the I actually did gig at the U.S. consulate. First of all, I love the fact that I got to go to the U.S. consulate and I went to like the staff area. So no phones, no nothing. Like literally, this thing happened and I have no proof of it.
Oh, is that recent?
Yeah, recently. Yeah, I just went there.
What was the gig?
It was one of these diversity inclusion gigs where they had me do comedy and talk about my story growing up.
Right.
And it was pretty fun because like you had the American staff and the local Hong Kong staff, and they were all coming together, laughing about, oh, I can relate to this in this way. And it was very cool because Jinx, have you had those audiences where you've got, let's say, the more westernized audience mixed with the more local audience? Like when I went to Singapore, the good thing is that with the expats over there, they had lived in Singapore, they were living in Singapore, so they would know a bit about Asian culture. When I went to UK this time, when I went to like Edinburgh and stuff, I had my first experience of a purely non-Asian educated or Asian experienced audience. Even cruise ships, they would at least come on board going to Asia with the mindset of, I want to see more about Asia. But this was an audience where they were like, no, I don't see that. I'm not interested in knowing your culture. Make me laugh. That's all I care about. Have you had those, and have you had those cultural shocks? Well, the good thing with the U.S. concert gig is I remember that it was very interesting for me because I was like, oh, this bit hits for a local crowd and kind of is funny for the American crowd because they're like, really, this is a bit absurd. Whereas like this bit just works for both sides. You know, that kind of thing. Have you found like your material that, oh, this is really killing hard, let's say in UK, but when I take it back to Singapore, they're like, nah, I don't know. I don't get it. Do you have some of those?
There is a bit of that. Like I have a bit that uses a lot of like English expressions. You know that maybe the Singaporeans aren't that familiar with.
Yeah.
Right. So that was one of the bits I find that kills overseas and doesn't work that well in Singapore.
Yeah, true.
Right. And there's also like there's also some bits like. Surprisingly, that where I make fun of myself like being Chinese, I make fun of my own culture and all that, and that works well in Singapore. Sometimes I go to Australia and some people just like get the PC audiences.
Exactly.
I was gonna ask you about that. Yeah,
PC
exactly.
audiences.
Like they get it, but they're like, I will not approve
Even
that.
which is nuts because you are from that culture,
right, yeah.
and
You're
you are
talking
making
about
fun of yourself too, which is like one of the highest forms of comedies. Like it's self-deprecating, you're doing it well, and it's tried and tested that your people are laughing at it, and then it's fucking white people are going, no, you shouldn't say that. It's like, fuck, what?
How dare you tell me if I can make fun of myself, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's nuts. It's also like, it's crazy because it's very, what's the word? Like not self-aware because that's like the highest form of entitlement. You think you're being like humble. You're being like, oh no, I'm being like super like whatever, equal. But actually no, you're like, you decided that everyone is offended now on their behalf. It's like, to me, it's just nuts.
So this is actually interesting because like, I'm sure Jinx, you get as well a lot of people interviewing and you're asking about the psychology behind it or the theory, or basically the mindset, like you were just saying that when I do talks in, let's say schools or let's say companies, whatever, and talk about, let's say DEI and all the stuff like that, I tell them, look, you must understand, if we can all come together and have a laugh and not be like, but I shouldn't laugh about that. I'm like, buddy, if we can all just, like, when I go to Singapore, when the person is laughing at the Indian person about a certain thing, many chances are they're not going like, yeah, I fucking hate these Indians. You know? They're like, oh yeah, that's what they do, but it's okay. Like that's part of life. We're no big deal, right? Much like the person who, let's say, you have an issue. Let's say, like I always say, my face is kind of slanted, my eyes are a little crooked like that. When I say that, you're like, oh, you're right. Your face is fucking slanted, right? And then, but I'm okay with it because I'm like, yeah, that's why. I mean, like every time you look at me, you're like, dude, something about your face is artistic. I'm like, yeah, Picasso, that's what it is, right? But the point is, I can make fun of it because I've accepted it to the point that is reality and it's okay, right? And hence I can make fun of it. If I had a problem with it, I'm like, don't look at my face. How dare you look at my face this way, right? I think that's the issue where a lot of people are still stuck at that. I will not mention it because it's rude to mention it. So let me not do it. And how dare you make fun of that and laugh about it because I'm sure this guy must be offended. It's because you yourself are not able to accept something like that. And therefore you feel like, oh, we should not be okay with this. Like, no. That guy's okay with it. We're okay with it, so become okay with it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the thing, right? So have you found that PC issue as well, traveling the world, where you're like, whoa, this is way too PC, man. When I went to Melbourne the first time, I remember, I will never forget being told off on the streets giving out flyers. Because like I say, I'm always the type of, hey, everyone, come to a comedy show. Hey, we got 5 funny Asians.
Did they say that's discriminatory against people who have no hands and they can't pick up your flyers?
For all I know, maybe they said, but with that accent, I had no idea. You know, I'm like, what? What did we say? Can you write it down, sir? You know? And then so I remember him saying, don't say a bunch of Asians, say people from Asia. And I asked him, like, why? He's like, because when I say Asians, it causes someone to draw a picture of a typical Asian face in their head. And he's like, don't make me do that.
What?
When you say from Asia, it could be anyone.
Don't make me racist in my head.
Exactly. You know, it's like, wait, but that's your head. Like you fixed it, right?
That's crazy.
You get it? So it's kind of being upset at me for causing them to be racist.
Yeah.
You get it? And in the same way, it's like Louis C.K. had that bit about like calling someone a faggot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, that's your problem.
Right.
You know, that you think that's because you're thinking of negative things. I'm just like, because you're just being a faggot. You know. Right? And I think that was to me at one point I was like, wait, hold on a second. Wait, hold on. What? You know. And the cherry on top was they were like, oh, by the way, you know, you shouldn't really say it because you're not really Asian. And I'm like, yes, I am. I'm Indian. He's like, yeah, but when you say Asian, we don't think of you. We think of, you know, Chinese, Japanese.
Which again is their problem,
exactly.
not yours.
I'm like, well, you're the racist, right? And that was the weird thing to me. I was like, hold on. So you're not really fixing the problem. You're avoiding from causing it to be a problem because it is an issue you don't want to deal with, right? And I think that was the recurring issue I noticed with PC crowds where I'm like, wait a second, you're not laughing because you're like, that's not right. You're not laughing because you're like, I don't want to make it right. You know, I don't want it to be okay. I want to be like, but I'm better than this. It's like, no, it's okay, dude. It's like the comedian Steve Lee in Hong Kong, you know, he's sometimes on crutches and stuff. He'll make fun of it and we're laughing and it's all okay. But people are like, oh, you should not. I mean, the poor guy. I'm like, what poor guy? He's past that point. You know, so even same with you. Have you ever had those moments where, you know, people will see you, they're like, oh, are you okay? You know, will they cause you to go like, oh, you shouldn't say that, that's not right, you know, your people are better than that. Do you ever get that as well?
Yeah, I get that, and it's the weird thing is like sometimes audiences they react that way when you do like all these like racial jokes.
Yeah.
And audiences you can kind of understand sometimes. Like I don't agree with your reaction, but I can understand you're an audience member. You don't know comedy that much.
Exactly.
But I had one show I did in Edinburgh. I was on a showcase, right, and then the MC introduced me. I went up and I did my Chinese make fun of my own race stuff, and it went well. And then I got off stage, the MC comes on and he's a comedian and he should understand that. But no, he's got, wow, that was a bit racist.
What?
The MC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why would you?
Is not Asian.
MC was not Asian. White.
Of course.
And like even some comedians are like that. So it's the weird thing, they think that's how they do multiculturalism.
Yeah,
they
we
think,
should respect each other. We should not. Yeah, but we're like, no, we should be able to just laugh at each other and have a good time.
Like I grew up in Singapore, and that is an actual multicultural society.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And when we grow up, when in school, we make fun of all.
Correct.
We make fun of each other. That's a show of affection, right?
Correct.
We show affection. We show we're okay. We're friends by making fun of each other.
Yeah.
We like racial names and all that stuff. We make racial jokes. All kinds of.
Exactly. It's as long as you're not targeting a particular group that is clearly like ostracized. You're like, okay, we're all gonna make like these are the target, and it's in a hateful way.
Yeah.
That's very different, right?
Yeah.
Like especially if you have a marginalized group, which I think some of these, you know, PC like ultra PC people are coming from, which is a good thought, which is like, oh, these are like marginalized people. They can't really fend for themselves. But then if it's just like a regular white guy comedian or whatever, and you're making fun of general Asian people, and he's like, no, you shouldn't say this. Like, fuck him. Like, what?
Yeah.
On what grounds? That's insane.
So this brings me to the point of the punch down, punch up thing, right?
Yeah.
Basically, when you're punching up. So like I said, with my classmates, you know, we kind of make fun of each other. Let's say in Hong Kong, especially, like if some guy's a little chubby, you're like, face. It's just like a thing we say. And it's not we're like, you fucking fat piece of shit. We're like, the fatty over there, you know? And yes, there are sometimes, sure, they'll be like, oh, but that guy might feel, you know, upset.
Sure.
But that's another thing where, again, this is a very gray area where, like you said, marginalized, you're like, dude, but they cannot fight back or voice up.
Yes.
So you are punching down.
Yeah, if you're making fun, hypothetically, if you're making fun of the old people here who collect like the
cardboards and everything,
and stuff, that's just mean.
Yeah.
That's like, it's just bad taste. Like, even if you know, make a joke or whatever, it's still bad taste because that will not get to them. And if it does get to them, it will hurt their feelings. Yeah. Because they're probably at like, you know, one of the lowest economic classes in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So they can't fend from themselves, as opposed to just a bunch of people in a school where everyone is equal. Pretty much, or like in a comedy show.
Yeah. But I think so. That's the issue again, because it comes down to your own intention. So in many times, I'm sure as comedians ourselves, you have many moments where you do a bit. Normally it kills, and at one show, someone's like, you shouldn't do that bit. Like, why? Oh, because, you know, then I'm like, okay. And I, like, for example, my bit about being checked on the streets and getting called Mohammedan, right? I've been told many times, you shouldn't do it. It's disrespectful to Islam. I'm like, first of all, nothing about the religion was in my bit. This is purely the name Muhammad. I'm making fun of the idea that the guy thought I was called Muhammad.
Oh,
right?
I got a lot of shit for that too. Like I have a bit also like making fun. But I mean, again, which is also to our point, it's still ridiculous because that's my name. I am the name.
Yeah, exactly.
I have the name.
Yeah,
and I posted a thing, but I knew that was going to happen because I come from that culture. I knew people are super sensitive about it, and I posted it online. I have a whole thing about like, you know, not making fun of the name Muhammad. It's just like people's assumptions about the name, and also how it's like named like, you know, it sounds like the name of the prophet, and then we have a lot of Arabic names that translate to English. So I play on that. And when I posted it the first time, I got a bunch of messages from people in the Middle East like, you should never come back here, you piece of shit, you infidel. I got like, whoa, my God, like, guys, also I have the name. Like it's okay, I'm allowed. And they're like, no, you're not.
Yeah, so which brings me to a point. Have you had any haters message you and say, your career will never take off because you jinxed yourself? Hi. Well, they do some stupid stuff like that. What were like have you ever had those points where you get messages like, you shouldn't do this and stuff, where you're like, come on, man. Really? That's your reasoning. That's your thought process.
Yeah, usually it doesn't. I mean, more common is people posting comments and like hateful comments. That's more common. Although like recently I did receive some hate messages. Quite a lot of hate messages actually.
Oh, lovely. I was gonna try to pull up some of your videos. What is a video that has a lot of hate comments, and then we can read them together?
And like you read one is like, you suck on the podcast.
Well,
Wait, what?
you want lots of hate messages? Go to the video. If you go to my Facebook and scroll, look at the videos. There's one called Malaysia versus Singapore.
So what's your Facebook? How do we find you on Facebook?
Jinx Yeo Comedy is my handle.
So JINXYEO comedy. Yeah, got it. Yeah.
JINXYEO comedy. Yeah.
All right. So check that out.
I got. Whoa, my God, 694,000
comments or views.
Subscribers, followers.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Dude.
So okay, how do you know how to search for a video? Okay, you can actually find it quite quickly.
All right. So
and then
again, if you want to play along to the podcast,
I accidentally pressed the screen.
You can by all
button,
means pause it now and go again. JINXYEO comedy. Go to Facebook. The one.
I feel like actually by just sheer number of following, he might be the biggest following I've ever had on the podcast. By the way,
yeah, he does.
I think by far,
especially with Facebook. Yeah, I think
with the total number of following online. I think he's
even surpassed like Jason Young. Jason Young's Facebook's not that big as well.
Yeah.
So
including all of the socials. Jinx, congrats. This podcast has been running for years.
Yeah, we've
and you are the biggest. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Exactly. Like for every listener over here, I was like, well, I would have never imagined from his humility. Exactly.
Oh, exactly. I can't find it yet. But
we can pause.
Oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
This one.
Right. Let's rock and roll. We got the video ready.
Let's read the comments.
Okay, let's see some of this. Okay, so basically, what's the name of the video?
So the video it's from February 3rd this year, and it says why 22. That's the title. Why 2022 was an quote unquote interesting year for Malaysia-Singapore relations. And then it's a joke by Jinx.
Okay.
Then there is a bunch of promos by Jinx. And then there is, well, the problem is that like there is also some Malaysian, like I think this is clearly someone who's offended in Malaysia.
Yeah.
But then it's like mix of Malaysian and English. I can't read it.
Right.
Can you read it? Like
no, I don't know Malay either. But
see, let me.
Sometimes I press the translation button.
Okay, so let me give you a roasty one. That one you might hate. I mean, did you read all of them?
No, I didn't read all of them.
Okay, here's one that I hope you hate.
Can you do it in like a really hateful voice?
Yeah, be like Harith Iskander. Always makes fun of both sides. Strike a balance. But hard truth is always hard to swallow.
Okay, so what they first initiated is like, hey Jinx, don't be yourself, be like this other comedian.
Yeah.
And because we like that, and God forbid you are who you are, so be that guy. Okay, that's the first piece of advice.
Oh, wait, actually, it's not fair to like, the audience don't know. Can you explain the joke? I haven't seen the joke.
Oh,
what is the joke?
So in 2022, a bunch of things happened between Singapore and Malaysia. There was Malaysia is usually supplying chicken to Singapore.
Yes.
And for some reason, in Malaysia, that year 2022, they stopped selling us chicken.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I was making fun of that whole issue. That issue.
The whole issue.
And let me think of where else. Also, there was a scandal in Malaysia that year where the Malaysia was trying to build their own navy ships.
Yeah.
And then it turns out like nobody could find the ships. So it's like, right? So
Stealth mode.
Nobody knew where the ships were. So it's like super stealth.
Yeah.
Holy shit, you're right. The comments are all bad. Like literally all of the comments are offensive. This is so fun. Okay, here's another one.
Let's go 3 random ones.
Here's another one. This is why humans are losing to AI. AI can generate better jokes than the talentless Mongkok.
Now let's take a moment. I really hope whoever put that comment at least had the dignity and the respect to go to ChatGPT to get a comment to paste here to say AI will do better than you. They're like, yeah, but you typed that comment, sir. So I don't know if you're trying to be sarcastic and ironic. So okay, so you get.
Sorry, one last one.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting comment because it kind of speaks to like the general audience that I would hope we get more of.
Yeah.
He says, as a Malaysian, I'm deeply offended by this comedy talk. However, on the rational side, we all know it's the truth.
Ooh.
Which is great. It's like, this is exactly like, if you're offended, it's okay to be offended.
Yeah.
But if the comic is speaking the truth, at least have the decency to admit that they're right.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be funny. You can be offended, but at least say they are right. That is exactly.
I mean, put it this way, it's kind of like, so this is, I was reading a book as well, it was talking about how the more westernized culture is that politeness supersedes truth, where people will be like, it's better not to say anything. Hence, again, the whole America's Got Talent, where you get people coming on stage, my mom says I'm a great singer, so I want to give the song to you, and like they play the song like, la, 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 la. And it's like, oh God, I wish your mom was honest with you, right? So I think that's the issue, is that a lot of people are unwilling to accept that this is the truth. It hurts, and like, you shouldn't even bring this up because now you're making me feel uncomfortable. It's like, well, don't feel that way, right? You know, just be okay with the truth. And how often do you find yourself, let's say, kind of rethinking, you know what, maybe I shouldn't, or do you kind of go like, well, you know what, I'm sorry, I stand by what I say? Because I've been asked this question before, like, do you self-censor and stuff like that? And the one thing I always say is that I will not say I never self-censor, because I'm like, when you write your comedy, you're like, yeah, I'm not saying that. That's stupid, right? But I will never say something and be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'll take it back. I'm like, if I said it and it messes up, I have to stand by it and be like, look, I learned something, but I'm not gonna be like, yeah, you know what? I'm a bad person. Boo me, right? Do you ever get those moments when you're looking at those comments, or basically people in general telling you stuff, you're like, maybe I have to rethink my whole personality and stuff like that. Do you ever get those doubts?
Yeah, I get those doubts, but then like. What brings me back to like is like you say, first of all, if it's true, like I think truth should always like go supersede feelings, right?
Yes, correct.
You can, and the other thing is like comedy is fiction. You're not making a scientific statement or anything like that. So sometimes it's not exactly true. But you know, it's fiction in order to make people laugh. That's what comedy is. It's a fictional art form, and like people judge comedy. I don't know why people judge comedy as if like
your truth tellers, right?
Like to the standard of like some
like science.
Or science, or like political, like a political speech or something.
Exactly. It's kind of like when Trump was president, every comedian was making Trump jokes, even the late night shows and stuff. Someone, whoever it was, made an interesting point, like, everyone is turning to comedians for, like, you know, all these jokes, and the line gets blurry. But this is actually not about the comedians or the audience. It's about how bad the politicians are, that people are turning to comedians and thinking they're telling the truth because the politicians are just idiots. Right? It's like, oh yeah, this guy at least kind of makes some sense, as opposed to actual politicians who should be telling us the truth and the news, and they're not. They're just saying some dumb shit. Right?
But I think, and also with comedians is that if we're forced to look at something from a different perspective, a fresh perspective, and kind of like, you know what, when you put it that way, this is fucking stupid, right? And I think that's the key to comedy, hence why people are like, oh yeah, when you put it that way, that does make sense.
It's just like that comment. It's like, you know, it can be offensive. This is fucked up, but that's also kind of true.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's ultimately the things that why people turn to comedy, is because like the reality they're given, they're like, I don't believe it. There's something hidden over there. And as comedians, we're looking at it from so many angles. We're like, oh, I see what you're doing there. Let me tell you, put it this way, right? And then it makes people go like, now that makes sense. I'm pissed off. You made me angry. I was fine when the politician was lying to me. You gave me the truth. Fuck you for, you know, making
that's right. Yeah.
So I think that is it. And we're like, well, I mean, first of all, you didn't have to listen to me. I never forced you. And second of all, I'm like, well, isn't it better that you know what reality really is? Because when it really hits you, you're like, hey, I was kind of ready for that. And I think that ultimately, and would you say that's the evolution in Asia comedy as well? Because I've noticed that nowadays, comedy in Asia has evolved from the point of the slapsticky, like, hey, we talk like this, you know, kind of thing. And people want a bit more. They don't just want that silly impersonation, you know, guy dressed up as a woman, kind of all these quirky things that those people do kind of thing. They want like, give me a bit more, because I've seen enough of that. Just like the people, like, you grew up, I say, watching Mr. Bean. The slapsticky thing is great, and it works perfectly. But after a while, you know what? I get it, man. You know, just like Russell Peters, the evolution in 2005, he was like, "Oh my God, this guy, yes, this makes sense." 20 years later, we're like, we know that. Like, we get the accents. We need a bit more depth to that. You know, would you find that's the issue now in Asia?
I think. I mean, there's still a huge percentage of the audience.
Who's never seen comedy in general.
Who's never seen comedy, and a lot of them still like the old
the accents and
slapstick comedy. And sometimes I'll get comments like, why can't you be this comedian? Why can't you be like that comedian? Or whatever.
Zenjiro.
Exactly.
Zenjiro is a great. Do you know who he is?
The Japanese
Japanese comedian.
You must have seen him.
I don't know if I've.
He was just opening in Masala when I was there last time. Like I've known him for years, and he just happens to be in town. But Zinjiro, if you catch him somewhere, do check him out. It's a very interesting act because he's never changed his set. It's not even something bad. It's just he has a set, and that's it. That's all he does.
Okay.
But it's very like Japanese slapsticky, and there is no two ways to reactions. It's either it kills or it dies, and there is no in between.
It's like durian.
Yeah, yeah. But it's very interesting to see because it's like super like in your face. But then like when it dies, it's exactly people having that reaction. It's like okay, so we get that, like we get what you're doing, but like what is the thought behind it? And it's like
Yeah, maybe when he does die with honor though.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What is the biggest? What is the hardest market for you in Asia? Well, like that's usually something I ask only any of the Asian like working in this region because everyone has a different answer. What is the hardest market for you?
Hardest market for me in Asia. You mean like which country?
Which is
Yeah,
because,
which
the audience
country?
I think is more
Which audience
challenging.
more
Or like just
challenging?
your stuff doesn't hit the best comparatively.
Oh man, it's hard for me to answer this because like I haven't done many international gigs since
So
COVID.
let me
Yeah, like
translate
in
that.
general.
Let me
Yeah,
translate that.
general.
What he's saying is that I am so fucking good at this
Yeah.
that I
That there
kill
is no
everywhere
hard-
I
yeah.
go. Anywhere in Asia, I am destroying rooms. So let me tell you, Mohammed, I don't understand your question. Yeah. Okay.
I find Korea very hard, for example. After going a few times, I'm like, this is a difficult market for me. I don't know what it is. It's just like, Japan, I do great. Cambodia, great. Yangon, whatever. Like a lot of the other markets, more or less similar reaction, similar whatever I can expect. Korea now, after 3 or 4 times, I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but this is a difficult country. For me as a comedian, I don't know if it's my style, whatever it is. So do you have a country that you go back to? You're like, I don't know about this.
So see, most countries I've performed in. I haven't performed in Korea before, so it might turn out that that's difficult. It might turn out that that's difficult. But most countries I've performed in many times. So like it's
You know what to expect, right?
It's like I've had good gigs and I have bad gigs in
Sure.
those countries.
Yes.
So I don't think it's necessarily like a country thing, or it's probably like maybe that how the selection of my material for that country. I think I wouldn't say it's the country is difficult. It's like I didn't choose the right material for that country. So
okay,
that's what I think. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say this country is difficult or that country is difficult.
Yeah, no, for me, it is more definitive because, of course, we can, like, I'm not saying every gig in every other country was great. Like, I went to Malaysia and made bad choices, but I also made to Malaysia and made good choices. Yeah. So, in general, I can tell it's like that average reaction is like, oh, yeah, this is like about me. But in Korea, I just thought it's just something just not happening. It's just the only country where I felt like, I don't know what's going on here. So, I mean, you should go to Korea. I'll book you there.
Okay.
Just you can go and do it and then tell me how you do it. You'll probably love you anyway.
Yeah.
I do want to talk to you about conspiracy, but we're out of time. However, good news is that we have the Patreon. Conspiracy, long-time listeners in the podcast know that I'm also like you, a little bit into conspiracy, sometimes for fun, sometimes I think things are not real or not real. So we'll get into it a little bit on Patreon. If you have not signed up to the Patreon, it's $5 a month. It's a very good way to support the podcast, and it's a fun way to hear more on our guests.
Patreon.com/HoHoPod, right?
And patreon.com/ohopod, and it's in the description of the episode. Jinx, this week, and this episode comes next week for us now. So obviously your Hong Kong shows are already done. So what do you have coming up, and how do people find you online?
People can find all my social media is at jinxcomedy.com. That's JINX comedy.com. If you go there, you'll find links to all my social
Jinx,
media.
I appreciate you expecting all our audience to know how to spell comedy. Yeah. Thanks for valuing and things like they have a certain level of people listening. Yeah.
Right.
So JINX and then COMEDY.com.
.com, yeah.
Yeah, you can see it over there.
Yeah, so that's where I can find my guy. And this I don't have that many international gigs. Like this period since COVID, I haven't been doing much international comedy because I have to look after my dad in Singapore. So mostly most of my shows will be in Singapore.
So what are the shows? What's the regular Jinx shows in Singapore?
Yeah, so I run some occasional shows like at different places at Singapore, and you can find the
schedules?
my main show schedules at jinxyeo.com. That's JINXYEO.com.
Whoa, so
We will
damn,
have it in
Jinx
the
is at a
in the
level that
description.
he's like, I gotta diversify my audience, man.
Yeah.
We got jinxcomedy.com, we got jinxyeo.com. Dude, this is like, you know like how Pepsi owns all these sub brands?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because they're so big.
Yeah.
This is what I mean.
That's
That's what I
amazing.
mean. Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a bunch of listeners in Singapore, and obviously a lot of people from Hong Kong go to Singapore regularly. So if you are in Singapore, do look up Jinx Yeo. Jinx, thank you so much for stopping by, man.
Thanks for
It's
having
lovely
me.
to chat to you. Guys, catch us on the Patreon. Come to a backstage show, and we will see you next week.